It has been around 1 year since I started self improvement, and that may be to the exact week or even to the exact day. And that was the first day where I just properly decided to actually start going to a gym. And I remember the day, it was like in the morning, maybe around 11 or 12 o'clock, and I was probably doing nothing for that entire day. I'd probably been watching TV or playing video games and stuff like that when I think my dad called me saying that like I had this gym membership somewhere that was like 30 minutes away or something, and I decided that I had a lot of free time. I might as well try it out. I've been kind of dabbling my feet into this kind of working out and gym sort of like niche and stuff, and so I thought I might as well try it out and see how it kind of goes. And I decided to cycle there because otherwise it would take me maybe like 3 hours or something to walk there. So, and I've been good at cycling my entire life, so I decided I might as well try it. So I took some money for like lunch on the way back or whatever, and I had to cycle up a lot of hills. And by the time I got there, I think it was probably around 1 o'clock. And this gym was like not any gym, it was like one of the gyms that you get inside of the private schools and stuff like that. And this gym, because of all the COVID lockdowns and stuff like that, it was only open in the morning from maybe like 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And because I got there at 1 o'clock, I essentially got there just as it closed. And when I got to like the door of the gym that was in like a separate kind of building complex, it was like closed. I could see like the cleaners were in there and stuff. No one was working out, and they're probably preparing it for like the other people and the other people in the private schools and stuff to actually kind of start using it, and it was like their session or their go or whatever. And despite the fact that I completely failed to actually like go to the gym, it was such a life changing moment for me this one random day, because I figured out that I have so much free time. I might as well just do this like every day for the rest of the summer holidays, and maybe even try to continue it into like my last year of school and stuff like that, because I know that other people were going to the gym a lot in summer, and I thought this would be like a nice way to sort of create a bit of competition or whatever. And despite the fact that I completely failed, was dead set on like trying it again the next day, and it was basically all I could think about for the rest of that day after I'd like had my lunch and stuff. I was just sort of sitting at home just thinking about all the sort of stuff I would do, because throughout the summer at that point, while like I was going to the gym and stuff like that, I probably didn't make as much progress as I possibly could have. I didn't really set any goals, and I was sort of walking aimlessly around the gym doing different exercises in like a push pull legs kind of split, or like arms chest back day split or whatever. But it was like a really good experience for me, and it taught me just a lot about going to the gym and working out in general. And because it was like my first time properly going to the gym, I still probably built a lot of muscle despite the fact that I had a limited amount of time and probably did a lot of the exercises with like bad form and stuff like that. But by the time the summer had ended, I couldn't go to that gym anymore because I was actually kind of banned from this gym because I was only 15 years old at the time, and you're supposed to be 16 to be able to kind of go to the gym on your own. And clearly they didn't notice this for like the whole of the summer holidays, but for like the last week of summer, they like noticed it, and they just said that you got to wait till you're 16 to be able to come here on your own and stuff. And so I just sort of like left without putting up much argument, because yeah, I wasn't really in the mood at that point, or for some reason or whatever. And so for like the rest of the autumn months, I kind of just tried to do a lot of calisthenics and stuff. But because I started eating a lot more, I started bulking. I found calisthenics quite difficult because I was constantly gaining, like gradually gaining a lot more weight. And so while I may have been getting a lot stronger, the amount of reps that I could do on exercise like pull-ups and stuff and push-ups, and I could only probably do maybe like 2 to 3 pull-ups at the time. So my impression was that I probably wasn't building that much muscle anyway. And there was a period of time where I almost kind of gave up on working out and going to the gym as a whole. But then I remembered that I had some like old dumbbells somewhere that were like in the house, and there were some old plates that I found. And I think in the months of maybe like November to December, before I got a home gym for Christmas, I started using like my chair and a few pillows and stuff to create like a makeshift bench in my room. And it was one of the most weird but like really fulfilling experiences for me, because despite the fact that the workouts were probably with really bad form and not optimal whatsoever, it gave me a lot of joy because I was actually able to start weightlifting and start working out again, just because it was like something that I really enjoyed and was like quite therapeutic in that sort of way for me personally. And eventually, like after I'd been doing that for maybe 2 months, I got a home gym for Christmas with a lot more equipment, a proper bench, like squat racks, a lot more weights and dumbbells and stuff like that. And it was just a nice thing. And then for like the last 6 months, I've been giving it my absolute kind of all in the gym. I've been working out like 6 days a week, push pull legs, that sort of split, which is something that I really recommend for like people who are starting out in the gym. That's the perfect split. Personally, for me, it's worked for me. It's built me like a lot of muscle in just a span of like 6 months, and it could probably do the same for you too. And so the last 6 months, I've been giving it my all. I went to school, I got home from school, I worked out like pretty much every day. Sometimes I'd have like football training and stuff like that, and then for the rest of my free time, I'd probably just be studying and stuff like that. But then my exam season came around, and I decided to implement a few like strategies that were kind of generically sort of self improvement. I mean, when I started actually going to the gym back when I told that story in the summer, I hadn't even been introduced to any self improvement content yet that's like kind of like the generic sort of stuff. I didn't really use social media that much, so I wasn't like exposed to all that kind of stuff, which may have been beneficial to me because I would have been able to understand a lot more about the gym and whatnot. But I kind of had to figure it out on my own, and I only really discovered self improvement content maybe in like the autumn of maybe October, November, December, and stuff like that. And that's when I kind of learned about things like journaling and meditation. And I started journaling from maybe around the past September 2022, like onwards, and continue with it now. But meditation and stuff, I only really started doing it during my exam season because I thought it might be beneficial for me to kind of evaluate my thoughts and like the stuff that I needed to know for my exams. And personally, I think I did well in my exams. I think it worked out quite well. And that was around the time that I decided to start this YouTube channel because we didn't really have to go into school during our exams. We could just like go in for the exam and then go home, and I had so much more free time compared to what I was used to. And while I was studying like so much, just like putting my all into the exams and putting my all into studying, because I was studying quite efficiently and had learnt a few methods that would mean that I could study efficiently, I still found myself with so much free time that I didn't know what to do with. I mean, I hadn't played video games or like done many bad habits and stuff like watching TV shows in like absolute months, and I found myself with all this free time that I could have quite easily used to do those bad habits again, like video gaming, like watching and binge watching TV shows and junk food and stuff like that. I decided to start a YouTube channel to just relay the advice and the experiences that I'd learnt throughout this year, throughout this journey, throughout my exams, throughout school, and so much more, because I thought that in the future it'd be a delayed gratification source of like income and stuff like that for me, which I could just use to obtain financial freedom and not have to live the life that I don't really want to live, and it could mean that I do live the life that I eventually do want to live. And so that's kind of just been the entire year of my life. And now it's the summer, I have all this free time and I don't even have to do any exams whatsoever. So a lot of my time is either recording and scripting these videos or just spending a lot of time with my friends and going to the gym. And a lot of the time I like to just kind of think about life a lot. I like to reflect and think about things like my purpose, because being alone with your thoughts and not doing absolutely anything, not even doing anything like reading and stuff like that, is something that's so beneficial and something that I've learned a lot just only in the last like month or so. So with that, I recommend subscribing because I like this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves a lot more than they already have. And good luck.